Hello, welcome to Just Another Thought. My name is Aaron Flowers. I am the founder of Just Another Thought. You can see Just Another Thought on Facebook. I'm trying to put it on Instagram also, Snapchat, so we can make J.A.T a page where you can get informed on current events and also things that you need to think about on a daily basis. I'm coming to you tonight because I have waited to hear so many different things and hear about the things that happened to Mr. Blake. And I wanted to process it. When you take so much in and all the things that's been going on in 2020, we've known that there are so many things that can make you frustrated, upset, that sometimes what we do is we act out on our emotions and how we feel. So I wanted to take a break on making videos because I was getting so emotionally involved and getting to the point that my spirit was being very vexed about our society and what is going on in our society today. I wanted to really reach out to the NBA players and thank them for using their platform to stand up for racial injustice. This is very important to every African American person that is in the United States of America. If you can make a difference and make your voice be heard, I encourage you to do this on a consistent basis. And to do this, we must be consistent and we must not fail or lack anything going forth, trying to make these changes when it comes to justice reform. It is so many things that we can do in our community. There's so many things that you can do on social media. Those are your platforms. Work, this is a topic where they do not want you to talk about racism. They don't want to talk about the things that we keep in the dark because we don't want to offend or affect someone that is working with us. If you're a Caucasian person and you do not have any racist thoughts, biases, or anything of that nature, then I urge you to also speak out. And I know that it may be tough on you due to the fact that your own race will look at you differently. I posted a video on my Facebook a while back that a Caucasian man was holding up a sign in the streets where it says that Black Lives Matter. And he got so many ridicules and a lot of things that was said that was so offensive to him, but he still stood on what he believed. I ask and I urge every individual, no matter what your color is, this is a time to have courage. When other people are against you, you must have courage to do the thing that is right. And the right thing to do right now is to stand up for humanity. Black lives do matter. Black lives is being the ones that are hurt, abused, taken from us. Black people are human. We're not a product. We are not a property. We are human. We have children that we love. We try to encourage, try to cultivate into being something greater than what we ever were. When we look back through the history of time and we see where we have came from and to this point, I say that we are blessed that we're still alive and we still can push forth a movement. But we still have the same issues that are going on. Racial injustice. As I show this video, is some things that alarms me in this video that I want to point out. And after this video is being shown, I really want you to hear me out on this. Okay, let me get this started.
Rage over the police shooting of a black man was all caught on video. Angry protests led to an overnight curfew in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's between Milwaukee and Chicago. The man who was shot, 29-year-old Jacob Blake, is now in a Milwaukee hospital. Our national correspondent, J.A.T Duncan, has more on this story, and we have to tell you ahead of time, this video, very tough to watch.
This graphic video posted on Facebook shows the moment an encounter between Jacob Blake and Kenosha police quickly escalated. Screams rang out as police fired at least 7 shots Sunday evening. Blake appears to have been shot in the back as he entered the driver's side of an SUV at gunpoint. His children were reportedly in the vehicle. It is unclear whether police believe they saw a weapon.
I know you got the kids and the girl and all that, and I never had a problem with him. I always see him every day, parked straight behind me on the street.
Local reports suggest Blake was breaking up a fight between 2 women when the police were called. That part of the incident was not caught on camera. A large number of protesters confronted officers in Kenosha Sunday night. In addition to peaceful demonstrations, at least one police officer was reportedly attacked when protests turned ugly elsewhere. A countywide curfew was put in place overnight. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers released a statement saying, "We stand with all those who have and continue to demand justice, equity, and accountability for Black lives in our country." Zach Rodriguez, a board supervisor in Kenosha County, said this incident highlights the need for more widespread use of recording devices by police.
What happened here tonight highlights that we need body cameras for not just our sheriff's deputies, but our city police department as well.
One person who says they're a member of the local Black Lives Matter chapter says the video is just the latest in a long line of events of police brutality against Black Americans.
We're tired of it. And right now, this is the wrong generation that this is happening to. The frustration is boiling to the top, and we're sick and tired.
That was J.A.T Duncan reporting. Very distressing video.
And he's right. We are sick and tired. It's the thing, Anthony, that even if he had a gun and it's not clear to anyone that he did, he's still shot in the back as he's getting in the car.
In the car.
And you see the woman who's jumping outside. There are children in the car. Her children are in the car as we're all watching this. Thank goodness for the videotape so that we can continue justice in this story. That's very disturbing to see.
Now, what I wanted to express on this video is basically, and I do not have the rights of this video. I want to make that clear to everyone. I do not have the rights, so don't try to sue me or anything for this. It's just something that I need to show in light of. She made a good point here. The newscaster made a great point. The great point was this man was walking away, and as he is walking away from the police officers, going into the vehicle, he is getting shot several times going into his vehicle. Now, I am licensed to carry in the state of Virginia when I was in Virginia. And when I took my license to carry class, it was carried out by a police officer in the state of Virginia. And this officer made emphasis on when we could use deadly force. And when he said that, the first thing that came to mind is I should be able to protect myself, my family, or whoever that's being assaulted or being under us. And the first thing he said to me, Mr. Flowers, you are not allowed to shoot an individual in the back, even if they're in your house and they're taking your property, or even in your car. You are not allowed to shoot them in the back because it shows that you were not in jeopardy of being physically harmed. your life was not being threatened. In this video that we just saw, police officers' life was not being threatened at no point in time. If they really wanted to apprehend this suspect, they have ways of gathering around him. There was no physical restraint done. They allowed this man to walk to his vehicle. Okay? If that's the case, why was physical force even given when they weren't in jeopardy of being hurt? This is my thought process. If we as individuals that are licensed to carry cannot shoot anyone in the back because our lives is not being in danger, how come the police can justify this shooting that happened to Mr. Blake? This alarms me. Cops need to be held, or police officers need to be held to a higher standard. What is the training that is being put in place to stop this from happening? I seen another video where an individual was a Caucasian and they used tasers before using deadly force on this individual. In this video, they didn't even attempt to pull a taser out and shot this man several times in the back. With all that's going on, you would think that officers would use less deadly force and more tasing or socializing with individuals that they think are suspects in a situation. This alarms me due to the fact that African Americans are very upset. And our nation is going left. Because in this video, she also said an officer was attacked in a peaceful protest, or claimed to be attacked in a peaceful protest. And also in this video, you've seen an African American male say that this is not the generation to do this to. For this generation is going to fight back. I urge my government, I urge the Senate. I know that there's so much going on, and the COVID situation is really taking over our country. But I urge them, if you don't get a handle on this now, African American males, females, African Americans in general, will defend themselves. And this will cause anarchy. We have to have a reform put in place as soon as possible. We are focusing on stimulus packages and other things. I understand those things need to be put in place. I really do. And our COVID numbers is getting higher due to the fact that we're out protesting. We're out going to Washington. And thank all the people that went out to the March of Washington to actually support, to even speak upon the things that is going on in our generation. We as individuals here, as human beings here in the United States, need to come together and stop wasting time. Stop putting our focus on things right now that is minute. We need to focus on this problem. This is an issue. Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, now Mr. Blake. Then there's also police brutality that's been happening that has not been caught on camera. I urge every individual to keep these cell phones, these smartphones, keep these cameras rolling. You got to understand, this is a two-way hurt. Because we as parents raise our children, and I said this before, to do the right thing. For the most part, we try to teach them to do the right thing. And when I say this is a two-way hurt, is because we tell them to record when the police officer pulls us over. It is your right that you can record. But yet, when we see the recording, and if it really goes left, and this officer is really racist and doesn't care, a parent has to look at their child being murdered on national television. This is hard. This is hard. This is traumatizing. And me working in the mental health field, understand the hurt and the pain that a parent can go through seeing this. Mr. Blake's family. In this report, they said this man was trying to break up an altercation that was not recorded on the video. But yet and still, the same officers that we seek to help disperse, to solve problems, dilemmas, are the ones that are creating a greater dilemma. It actually puts us in the mindset to not even call the police because of the violence in which they would enforce on us. I listened to Megan Thee Stallion, and I heard the reason why she didn't tell the police or call the police when her incident went down. And that is the mindset of every African American person, is not to call the police due to the fact we don't know what's coming. We don't know if they are going to come to help us or come to hurt us. This is the harsh reality of our society. An African American male or female that lives in the United States has to deal with the fear of being beat or abused by the officials who's supposed to help protect and serve us. Our platform is our jobs. Our platform is our home, our social media, our community. That is our platform. And you say, I heard Bruce Arians say that he doesn't believe in protesting and walking and things of that nature. The head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he believes that maybe we should throw money to it and fund certain coalitions. That is one way. But our voices won't be heard if we throw money at it. Many people have been afflicted and paid off. Paid to keep our mouth shut. Our voices won't be heard. And it's hard. The harsh reality of it is, even when those individuals are silenced, they still have to go back to the same abuse. African American people, African Americans, humans, Caucasians, Chinese, whatever race that you are. If you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. You have to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. And if you are racist and you have that racist bone, I urge you to ask yourself why. Why do I hate a race? Why have I had this hate in my heart for individuals because of their color or creed? Give me something to understand why you are racist or why you don't like African Americans. And I'll give you an answer to your way of racism or the way that you think of individuals. It's easy for African Americans to blame Caucasians for everything that has happened in society. But I saw a video where it says that African Americans are forgiving. We let things go. And if that is the case, if we're so forgiving and we implement that we're forgiving and we let things go, how come other people don't do the same? Understand the individual that you are. Get knowledge and understanding. Out of all things, get understanding. You know, the way that I think and the way that another person thinks is totally different. And the way that we think is because of how we were raised and what we were brought up into. So understand this fact, and this is a fact. People that doesn't know or doesn't learn will always be subjected to individuals that already have a thought process. And they take on that individual's thought process without asking why. Without posing the question, how? Who, what, when, where, why? These are the questions we need to ask. These are the conversations we need to ask. Those are the conversations that doesn't seem to be easy, but it's the conversations that will break chains. I'm not racist. I believe that every human being can love, fear, have joy, pain. These are feelings and emotions that every human being has, no matter what race that you are. And if we all have these feelings, then we all are a part of the human race. I've noticed videos where even animals, cats and dogs get along. And we can't get along. We can't gather ourselves together and form a unity unless there is an atrocity. And those that sit quietly, watching, waiting, not being proactive, you are just as guilty as the individuals that has committed the crime. If you know chief of police, IA, whoever has official authority, if you know someone that is working and has shown racial injustice and you don't do anything about it, you need to be held accountable also. like I said in my last video, it is not a crime to be racist, but to act on your racism is a crime. People, use your platform. Let's talk more. And I pray and hope that we can come to a solution. Those individuals that's working diligently to change what has been going on for the last 40 decades, I applaud you. You are our Martin Luther Kings. You are our Malcolm X's. You are our Frederick Douglass's. You are our Sojourner Truths. You are our Harriet Tubmans. In a society that has lost so much in 2020, we've lost individuals that spoke out on racism. We've lost actors that has changed the mindset of African Americans. We have lost politicians, basketball stars, who were fighting for equality. And a lot of you say that it's about a flag. Seen a Caucasian woman post something that was very vital, and I was always saying this to my brothers and sisters. What does the flag represent? What does the flag represent? And we pledge allegiance to a flag of the United States of America and to the republic to which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For all. That's what the flag stands for. Liberty and justice for all. Not for some, not for one chosen race, but for all. People have bled and died for that statement. Liberty and justice for all. That's what the flag represents. And there is no liberty, there is no justice for all that lives in the United States. Not saying that the United States is perfect, but this is something that we all can resolve. Shout out to my man Takeem Cooper for his plan. I believe education and reforming of education and getting our generation knowledgeable of what to do and what can change is appropriate for this time. Sister T, with what she is doing down in North Carolina, putting the proposals together, and checking and doing things in that venue and marching and speaking out. My co-worker, Hanif Salam, who is out there fighting the fight for individuals that's been incarcerated. There is so much that African Americans are going through. Hard to find jobs. when you've been incarcerated. Hard to be a black man under the red, white, and blue that claims that we have liberty and justice for all. God bless. I've taken up most of your time. I hope and pray that you stay safe, be vigilant, maintain this fight, and I hope to see you again. Take care.